No way does Matt Ishbia and Brian Gregory actually do this, but the latest rumors have been circulating around one specific player that has been linked to the Phoenix Suns, and many fans could think this is a positive. Many could view this as a negative, so we're going to dive in and explore what this acquisition could mean for the Phoenix Suns, how they could get it done if possible, and what type of role they could see within Jordan Ott's system going into this new identity and new culture that the Phoenix Suns are trying to bring in. Would he fit into all of that? We'll dive into all of the latest of those questions on this episode of Suns Digest. I am your host, Bruce Veliz, and you guys have been absolutely fantastic showing your love and support here on the channel over these last couple of weeks, days, months, however long you guys have been subscribed, and I really do appreciate all your guys' thoughts and comments. So let me know what you guys think down below on this latest report, and if you would like this acquisition for the Phoenix Suns, or if you would like Brian Gregory or Matt Ishbia to stay away. But without further ado, let's dive in and let's explore the latest update here. Make sure to grab that snack and let's get into it, as I think this is a very interesting type of prospect that the Phoenix Suns could be looking to bring in. And despite obviously there being some rumors and hearing some shutting down of this obviously still is something that is circulating and something that we should definitely be looking at. So in looking at this latest report, we see from Brian Windhorst of ESPN that Ben Simmons' sweepstakes is heating up. And with the free agency class being so small, I guess you could say that Ben Simmons does have a little bit of a sweepstakes in front of him, with teams looking to bring in the veteran power forward or point guard, however you would like to use him in their system, as a nice solid defensive rebounder, defensive piece, and also a screener in the pick and roll. And he's expected apparently to make a decision on where he'll be taking his talents within the next week. He is told that there's probably going to be a big choice in the next week, with teams like the Sacramento Kings, Phoenix Suns, New York Knicks, and Boston Celtics all have being linked to him. And ultimately, this doesn't really come as a surprise to me for the Phoenix Suns. We want to do look at their financials. We do know that post Bradley Beal, they have enough money to bring in basically anybody on the free agent market. And with they're a little bit of a hole at the point guard position, if you want to use Ben Simmons as another facilitator within this offense, someone who is going to be a solid defender and, like I mentioned, be able to set some good screens and be a solid roller to the basket, also being a little bit of a defensive piece to fit into that new identity, new culture that Jordan wants to bring in, then I think this is someone the team could target. With them being at $187 million, being underneath the tax threshold, it could make sense for this team to go and bring in a guy like Simmons. But if they do want to play him in that forward position, there is a little bit of a concern because they are kind of logjammed there, obviously, with Dylan Brooks, Ryan Dunn, Royce O'Neal still on the roster. Then you have the possibility of the team trying to run double big, so will Mark Williams see himself alongside an Oso Ighodaro or Kamen Malawach at some points throughout the season. And then ultimately, Rasheer Fleming and Nigel Hayes-Davis are also names that the Suns have brought in here this season to try to figure out their true identity at the power forward position. And if they do feel that they want to kind of give light to their rookie to kind of see what he can bring as a 3-and-D wing, or even try to give Nigel Hayes-Davis some opportunity so he can kind of bounce back in the league, it does seem like Simmons does have a little bit of a crowded spot here coming to Phoenix, even if the roles that he could present for this team could be very beneficial. Now, someone like me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Ben Simmons, and with him being on that $40 million contract just a couple years ago before he was bought out last season, I would not like him on a deal like that. But on a deal that is very team friendly, possibly a minimum contract, that is something that I could see the team kind of being exploratory with and actually wanting to do. Now, John Gambadoro has shut down the rumors of Ben Simmons here, and I forgot to grab the tweet here for this video, but I have showed it in other videos on the channel, so make sure to check back to look at that, or just look up John Gambadoro's Twitter, because we do know he is the main Suns insider, and he did state a while back that the Suns have no interest in Ben Simmons. That ultimately could potentially change through these next couple weeks with Brian Windhorst is hearing, and if the Suns maybe struck out on a couple guards that they were looking out on the buyout market. I know they were interested in Marcus Smart from a couple days ago when he went to the Lakers. That could put the Suns in a position here over these next couple days to kind of reshuffle the deck and kind of analyze who they want to bring in. And maybe Simmons is one of those pieces that they feel ultimately can. Like I mentioned, as a solid defender, he could play on the wing alongside this team, be a pretty decent paint anchor, play on the low post. And like I mentioned, offensively, Simmons isn't obviously really the best gifted, but he can be a pretty decent passer, so he can play some point guard here. I don't think he would really construct with Colin Gillespie's developmental minutes, and I think they can kind of share that backcourt evenly there, playing some backup point guard. But even if you wanted to see some more run with him, like I mentioned, you could always use him as that wing position here with a screener and roller to the basket, working in the pick and roll alongside Devin Booker, Jalen Green, and etc. like that, maybe playing alongside a guy, and Ryan Dunn or Dylan Brooks at the small forward position if one of them needed a rest. But like I mentioned earlier, if you want to see kind of what Nigel Hayes-Davis, what Royce O'Neal can really bring, what Rasheer Fleming can bring, maybe run some double big lineups, that could ultimately construe with that too. I mean, Simmons could be used in those double big lineups as well, playing alongside a guy in Mark Williams, maybe more Common Malawach because he can stretch the floor a little bit better, or maybe even Oso Ighodaro at some points. But that's something to keep in mind in as well when kind of evaluating the potential of bringing in Ben Simmons. Now, personally, like I mentioned, I'm not the biggest fan, and with the things that I kind of highlighted, it doesn't really make the most sense to me. I still think going after a combo guard, I've mentioned plenty of them on videos and on live streams and articles here for the Sun Space. If you want to check those out, you can. But guys like maybe a Javon Carter, who I talked about in an article and we talked about in the stream a couple days ago, last week on Thursday, as a potential trading piece, or maybe someone that they can get on the buyout market, right? I know Jordan Goodwin just got waived. He's a potential name some people have looked at as a new guard that has entered the market that the Suns could get a little bit of a reunion with, similar like Javon Carter as well, and he could play a little bit of that tertiary guard. Delano Banton has been someone I mentioned. DeLon Wright has been someone I mentioned, and even Amir Coffey has been someone that I've mentioned. So with that being said, I think those guys would be a little bit of better fits for the Phoenix Suns, personally, in my eyes, to kind of play that complementary role that a guy could Ben Simmons obviously could. But if the Suns maybe had some more roster move plans, or wanted to move Rasheer Fleming to the 3 and didn't really wanted to have Nigel Hayes-Davis as that tertiary power forward, then maybe this is the case where they do pursue a Ben Simmons and maybe change their mind from what we've heard in the past and actually go out to bring this power forward / point guard combo in. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of this. If I were the Phoenix Suns, I would look somewhere else in the free agency pool with our 2 roster spots open, but ultimately it is in the hands of Matt Ishbia, Brian Gregory, and what they would like to do, and I think that's what we're going to see unfold. Regardless of that, I do think we will see some more transactions kind of come through these next couple of days, with Summer League obviously winding up over the weekend. We have seen some more transactions go through, and I do think the Suns are out there on the trade market using some contracts like Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, potentially still, from what we've heard from Brett Siegel from Summer League. In our latest update, we also do know that the Phoenix Suns have open roster spots and have flexibility now with waiving Bradley Beal. So could they get involved in a trade? Aggregating those salaries, could they go and sign a guy worth $14 million if a guy gets bought out, if they keep remaining patient? Those are things to keep an eye on with this team in these next couple of weeks. But like I said, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section on this video, what your thoughts are on a potential Ben Simmons signing for the Phoenix Suns. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. We will be live tomorrow, once again, at our usual stream time, going over some Suns news, so that will be fun. And I'll catch you guys later. Have a great rest of your day, and go Phoenix Suns. Peace out, everyone.